Bunch of Ichigo pictures. I kind of like this one. It's kind of interesting. It's kind of like a captain uniform in a way, but just blue and different, and it's really interesting. This picture is kind of neat. I just kind of like it for how the way it's drawn. On to the next picture. One of Rukia and Ichigo. Kind of boring. I like this part though. Shows a bunch of little details that are in the Soul Society. Really, really nice. Including Sokyoku Hill. Not too fond of this one. Ichigo's drawn really weird in this picture, and this character was never included in it in any Bleach media, and I probably wouldn't want to see that character in it. It's just that character's drawn really, really badly. This is a really nice picture. Everyone's drawn well, and it's just really good. I like how this picture is drawn. I'm just not too fond of how Rukio's hair was drawn, and apparently it was done with colored pencils, so that's why it kind of turned out gray. But this is, like, the drawing itself is really phenomenal. Here we have a splash page of all the captains, which I always like these little group pictures of the captains. They're probably some of my favorite characters in the series. Just really nice, and you'll probably see this one float around the web a lot. It's quite a popular picture. Here we have one of Ichigo holding his Zanpakuto with a bunch of the faces of the captains in there that he fought, except for Kurotsuji, which he never did fight, but it's kind of explained in some of the notes in the back. Another one of Renji, really nice. This one is really neat, at least for the captains. All their clothes are kind of shaded in a different tinted color. Like, you have Byakuya Kuchiki here with kind of like a gray clothing. Kyoraku with like a yellow shading, and Soifon with more of like a violet-purple shading. Here we have two different versions of Kenpachi of Zaraki. One with blood and one without. I forget what it said in the back, but there's a reason why he had to do one or the other, Tekubo. But again, like, this kind of shows his fondness for the character. Another nice group photo. And I like the kind of like the dramatic shading on the characters right here. This is a really nice picture of the two fighting. Like on the top, the shading is really, really cool. How it's done in grayscale. This is one I like a lot too, because all the captains themselves are shaded differently. I especially like how Kurotsuji is done with like a red. He looks really crazy, which is really, really cool. And as it should be, because everyone knows he is insane. This is another nice one too. It's kind of the battles that took place during the Soul Society. This is a nice one too. It's at the Kuchiki residence, really nice. And this is the one of Rukia at Sokyoku Hill, which is really nice. I especially like the background detail on here. And here we have a whole splash page of Ichigo, which is really nice, and you have the fire in the background. Very dramatic. He has that flying cape thing, or I forget if it was the cape or this other device that made him fly in that one part of the scene. I think it was a device that Yoruichi gave him to fly, but the cape's a really cool little element in there. And here we have Ichigo, some of the captains and lieutenants. Again, nice, and you see that one over the web as well. And here we have some BLEACH CDs, which are really cool, which kind of reminds me of in that opening that I mentioned earlier, Tonight, 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 where they show all the little CDs flying around. Again, another group picture, this time including a few more characters, like Urahara. This one's really interesting. It has a bunch of characters, and they're all done in these precise little blocks. You have obscure characters like the cockatiel, and even though it's not a character, but you have Rukia's drawings in there, which are, it's funny. It's really cool. Not too fond of that picture. Ichigo looks like he's drawn differently, which isn't too good. I do like this picture though, and apparently it was a poster at one point for a convention, I believe. It'd be really nice to get my hands on that. It's just a really nice poster. Here we have a bunch of the characters at, it looks like some sort of party. They're all dressed up really formally, and who knows what they're doing. Oh, this one's really neat. It's one of the foreign country series drawings for BLEACH, which is, as you can tell probably, that they're done in Chinese clothing, which is really cool, and they're doing all sorts of martial arts, and it's really, really interesting. Though I don't know why they have Orihime there, because it looks like she's trying to fight somebody, but there's nobody there, and Ichigo's fighting against Rukia, so she can't really fight against anybody, and you'd think she'd be fighting against Uryu or something, but he's not looking at her, and she's not looking at him, so it's kind of odd to have those two characters there. Another one from the foreign series, this time they're in India. They have all the little dots on their head, which I think those dots are only given to Hindu women once they're married, so I don't quite know why they'd all be having little dots on their head. But I'm pretty sure that's how it works. I forget, I was taught about that maybe last September, so I kind of forget between now and then.